Hello YouTubes, what is up? Welcome back to another video. It is your boy Strem and we are here with another IBA video. This is a team builder for week 8, I want to say, against our commissioner SlightliSalti and the Las Vegas Corviknights. So we lost last week to QtheCostaRican. It put us at 5-2, but more importantly, it put us in 4th place. We went from 1st to 4th in 1 week. It's pretty much because of differential in kills. As you can see, JayVee here from the Atlanta Victinis is 5-2 as well with 9 differential, but he has 40 kills and we only have 38. That is what puts us ahead of him. The Boston Red Claws are plus 11 in differential, so that's why they're ahead of us. And the Vancouver Corviknights are plus 16, and they're also 6-1. A silver lining, the good news is Gengar still remains at the top of the kill leaderboard with 14, although Lycanroc Dusk is nowhere to be found anymore. It takes a lot to get on the kill leaderboard list. Lycanroc did not have a good week last week. It is what it is. So this week we're up against the Vegas Corviknights. They are 4-3 with a -2 differential. It is coached by the commissioner of the league, SlightliSalti. Great guy. It's an all-Canadian matchup. The only 2 Canadians in the league, I believe, me and Salty, so that's really cool. Yeah, I think we're still in a great spot to make playoffs as long as we don't kind of end off really terribly here for the rest of the season, but looking forward to that. We need to finish strong. These games are just as important as the first 7 games, so it is what it is. Fun facts. Is there anything worth talking about? Not really. I mean, there's some fun facts there. I'll leave them on the screen for a little bit. If you guys want to read them, you can. Nothing too outrageous, but it is what it is. So let's go check out our boy Salty's team here. Where's his team, man? Where's his team? There they are, Vegas. All right. So his Gigantamax captain is Blastoise. Very scary, obviously. He also sports a Kommo'os, a Moongus, Galvantula, Doublade, another Lycanroc, not Dusk form, but Midday, Glaceon, Darmanitan, Reuniclus, Mandibuzz, and Ninjask. I will say, too, I'm doing this video kind of quickly. We are battling in just a few hours, but I did want to get the team builder up, and I always like recording the team builder before the match, just so that it comes from that perspective and I don't already know what happened. So I am recording it now, yeah, just before the match. So it might be a little rushed, but here we go. Blastoise is definitely a threat. He can run physical or special. Blastoise has the same physical and special attack stat, so you really never know what's coming. And it's pretty bulky, especially when you Gigantamax it. The G-Max move does some damage, G-Max Cannonade, and does continual damage, so that's something we got to think about. And it has a pretty good matchup against our team because it gets a lot of ice coverage and stuff like that. He also has Kommo'os. We were swept by a Belly Drum Kommo'os in Season 1.5. Very difficult to deal with, obviously. It can also set up on the special side, I believe, too. So we got to worry about that. We do have some answers, I think. I think I might have over-prepped for Kommo'os, just with a little bit of PTSD the last time we dealt with the Kommo'os and it swept us. He has a Moongus. A Moongus is very bulky, both the physical and special side. It can do annoying things like Spore, 100% accurate sleep move. Galvantula is a fast special attacker with sticky webs. Doublade is an Eviolite user. It's very physically bulky and hits pretty hard on the physical side as well. Lycanroc Midday is fast and physically offensive, like we know with our Lycanroc. This one isn't quite as powerful as ours, although it is faster and could potentially KO our Lycanroc if it comes to that. Glaceon, I'm not too worried about. It hits hard specially, but it's fairly slow and can't do a whole lot, especially outside of hail. Darmanitan, Choice Scarf Darmanitan gives us some problems for sure. It hits like a truck with sheer force. On the physical side, we don't have a ton of resistances to fire, so something to look out for sure. I think he brings it. Reuniclus is very bulky, both defensively and specially defensive. It can set up using Calm Minds. I'm not too worried about Reuniclus this week, but definitely a threat. Mandibuzz, very bulky defogger, can be bulky on both sides, so you don't know where you're facing. And just kind of an annoyance. And Ninjask is kind of a one-trick pony. It gets a speed boost ability, and he can baton pass speed to other mons like Kommo'os to come in for the sweep. So we had to be worried about Ninjask 2, although I think we have a good matchup against it. I just hit the mic, sorry. We can go to our team for a little bit. Not much has changed. We did make one transaction change last week, which I posted on Instagram about. But we did drop Claydol for Sandslash. We haven't brought Sandslash yet, but Sandslash kind of gave us a spiker. It's still a rapid spinner. It's very physically bulky and hard physical attacker. And doesn't give us that dark weakness. So with Claydol, we had a double dark weakness going on with Gengar and Claydol, and it was hard to bring both of them at the same time. So Sandslash gives us a pure ground type. We still have the electric immunity, very physically defensive, and we get spikes now too instead of just Stealth Rock. So that was the thought process there. Hopefully Sandslash can come through at some point this season. Everything else remains the same. It is what it is. So let's go to the team builder really quickly, and we'll show you who we're bringing this week against Salty. So first up, we're bringing Weston. The Flareon's coming back. He's only been to a couple games this season, but I felt like this was a good matchup for him. We are very specially bulky with a careful nature and max HP and special defense, with 4 in regular defense, physical defense. We're running the safety goggles, Flareon. He is our Amoonguss switch in, so anytime he tries to use Spore, safety goggles make it so we're unaffected by powder moves. So that should be really nice. He is also a great Darmanitan switch in because of Flash Fire. If the Darmanitan is choiced into a fire move, he literally cannot touch Flareon. So that's really great. We're running Flare Blitz for the Amoonguss and Doublade. We're running Scorching Sands as a way to hit the Darmanitan super effectively and possibly burn. We're running Will-O-Wisp to burn the physical attackers on his squad, like Kommo', it's a physical Blastoise, Doublade, things like that. And then we're running Roar as a way to stop setup on everything except for the Kommo', because Kommo' is soundproof, so it will not be affected by Roar. So yeah, he's just a special tank. Really just needed an answer for that Amoonguss, a solid one. We can come into multiple Amoonguss attacks and be fine and tank them, as well as switch into Spores with the safety goggles. He also counters Galvantula pretty well. He's not amazing against Doublade, but he'll get the job done. We can do like 90% to Doublade. And then, of course, that Darmanitan Fire switch in. Next up, we're bringing Carco, the Lycanroc Dusk, with the Choice Band this week. Tough Claws, Max Attack, Max Speed, 4 in HP, and Adamant Nature again. This thing hits like a truck, obviously. I almost didn't bring Carco this week, if I'm being completely honest. He does not have the best matchup, but he does answer some critical things for us. He may end up being our lead, just to put the pressure on immediately. So things like Excel Rock, Drill Run, Sucker Punch, Close Combat is what we're running. Excel Rock OHKOs the Darmanitan. Excel Rock OHKOs the Galvantula. He does have some switch-ins to it, but not a ton of things on his team like taking it. I know the Doublade and the Amoonguss are probably the only 2 switch-ins really, maybe Reuniclus to this. Cellrock also OHKOs the Ninjask and does over 50% to the Mandibuzz, and that's max HP. So it hits tons and tons of things. Obviously, you know, he's weak to the Blastoise, he's weak to the Amoonguss, he's weak to the Reuniclus in some ways, but overall, and to Kommo', but overall, things don't really want to switch into a Choice Band Adamant Excel Rock on his team. And if we lead him expecting a Darmanitan or Galvantula lead, we can punish that pretty hard. So I feel like it was a good bring ultimately, and that's pretty much it. It's just to put the pressure on. You guys know how we use Lycanroc by now. There's not many switch-ins. We're also running Drill Run that we've never run yet, and that's just for the Doublade. Next up, we're bringing Tink, the Magnezone Shiny. We're running the Choice Scarf this week, so another choiced user. Special attack, max speed, 4 in HP, and we are running Modest. This is our Blastoise answer. We have the Sturdy ability, so it's basically like a built-in Focus Sash. You cannot die if you're at full health with that ability from one hit. So the idea here is we switch into the Blastoise. We are faster than a Blastoise with our Choice Scarf, so we could switch in, outspeed, with a Thunderbolt that does 60% to him while Gigantamaxed. We could take a hit no matter what it is because of the Sturdy ability, and then we outspeed when we're Choice Scarfed and KO. That's the idea. It also is really good against Glaceon with Flash Cannon. It's good against Doublade because it has such minimal special defense, and good against Amandabuzz too. So We have a lot, obviously the Ninjask too, but I'm not too worried about that. So we have a lot of answers, but primarily Magnezone will be our Blastoise counter this week. Switching into that Blastoise if we can. Next up, we are bringing Scyther, the Whiz Kid, with the Eviolite this week. He is our Defogger, again, with max speed, max attack, adamant with 4 in HP. We're running the Eviolite for a little bit of bulk, and the only hazards I'm really worried about are the sticky webs from Galvantula, which only affect non-flying types anyway. So we're running Technician with dual Wing Beat, knockoff, X-Scissor instead of U-Turn, and Defog. The reason we're running X-Scissor instead of U-Turn is because if we're in against the Reuniclus, we actually don't want to switch out. We don't have a ton of Reuniclus answers, so the X-Scissor allows us to stay in, do a little more damage than U-Turn, and ultimately beat this thing 1v1, especially whereas we're Eviolite. We can also knock off for the Doublade and the Reuniclus super effectively. And ultimately, he's just a fast defogger that answers those two things. Dual Wing Beat Okos Kommo'o if it's not heavily defensive investment. It Okos Amoonguss if it's not heavily defensive investment. And it Okos Galvantula, although we don't outspeed Galvantula. So it's very good against some things. It's obviously weak against other things, but that's why we're bringing him this week. He should be really fun to use. And yeah, I hope the X-Scissor situation works out, because I don't think he'll expect X-Scissor. Next up, we're bringing Babby, the Choice Specs Shiny Primarina. So this is our third choice user up to this point, so half of our team. We're running the Specs because absolutely nothing wants to switch into a Choice Specs Moonblast from this thing. Amoonguss kind of, Doublade kind of, but not even really. It'd be really beneficial for us to get in and just start Moonblasting things. It's obviously a Kommo-o answer as well. So we're EV'd kind of weird here with max HP, 152 in defense, 104 in special attack, and then a bold nature. We're EV'd specifically to just live 2 poison jabs from a +1 Kommo-o, or live a +2 poison jab from a Kommo-o. So if that Kommo-o starts setting up on us, we can switch in effectively. Poison jab is the best coverage it gets for Primarina, and we live 2 of those if it's at +1. So, and then we Oko back with the Choice Specs Moonblast. So really great answer for Kommo-o. This thing can also switch into Darmanitan and Scald, and the Lycanroc and Scald. So that's really good. And yeah, not a ton of things want to switch into the Moonblast. I know the Blastoise doesn't want to. We're also bringing Energy Ball for that Blastoise, and Aqua Jet just for a little bit of priority in the end game if we need it. Sometimes, you know, you just get outsped and you only need to do a little more damage, and that's what Aqua Jet does for us. So I think it's really cool. It also answers the Mandibuzz really well. Mandibuzz can't touch this set Primarina, and Choice Specs Moonblast should pretty well Oko it for all intensive purposes. So there we have it. The Torrent ability, yeah, kind of a weird EV spread. I find with Primarina, like you can't just run a basic spread. It's always got to like be EV'd a certain way to live certain things, and in this case it is a little more defense and the bold nature. Last but not least, we are bringing our captain, IMAC, the Gigantamax Gengar, and he's Scarfed. So this is our 4th choice user. With him it's a little different because after you Gigantamax, the effects of the Choice Scarf go away, so you can pick any move you want. The only reason we have a Choice Scarf is because we outspeed a +1 Kommo-o when we're Choice Scarfed. So if he does set up on us and he gets to +1 speed, we can Dazzling Gleam, Choice Scarf, and pretty much one-hit KO him unless he is rocking a Brazili Berry. That's kind of a last-ditch effort, but that's what we want to do. Choice Scarf also allows us to outspeed like the Galvantula if it's not Scarfed, and the Lycanroc Dusk if it's not Scarfed. So there's other uses for it as well. We're bringing Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Dazzling Gleam, and Energy Ball. Energy Ball is for the Blastoise and the Lycanroc, where Dazzling Gleam is for the Mandibuzz and the Kommo-o. And Gengar has a really, really great matchup this week. I'm not going to lie. I was feeling kind of bad about this match in terms of the matchups, but the shining moment here is Gengar. I really believe that. Nothing on his team really, with the exception of Amoonguss, wants to take 2 hits from this thing. We have such good coverage. He has no ghost immunities at all. So we just max Shadow Ball into something, whatever he wants to switch in, and then whatever comes after that does not want to take a second hit. So like I said, we have Gleam for things, we have Energy Ball for things, and we have Sludge Wave for other things. So like, aside from the Amoonguss, we do not 3-hit KO the Amoonguss if it is specially invested. But aside from that, nothing can take 2 hits. So if we get the Amoonguss out of the way, Gengar is guaranteed going to pick up at least 1 kill, depending on how things shake up. So that feels really good, and that's giving me some confidence going into this week. I am worried. We're not bringing Chansey or Tangrowth this week. It's the first time I think we've brought neither of them. But in reality, they didn't have great matchups. When the Gigantamax can be either physical or special, it makes it really hard for me to take Chansey because I wouldn't be able to tank a physical Blastoise. And then with Tangrowth, the Blastoise gets so much ice coverage that we just get outpaced, even if we're Giga Draining for super effective damage. So it is what it is. I think that we picked the best team we can. Obstagoon was definitely an option. Tangrowth I wanted to bring for some other things, but it didn't work out. But ultimately we went with Scyther as the last mod because of the defog. And the Sticky Webs really cause problems for us if he gets them up and keeps them up. So that's what it is. It is what it is. This will be the team this week. Like I said, a little bit of a quicker video. We are pretty close to the match, so I want to get the team in there and ready and everything. I don't want to keep our commissioner waiting. You know, I don't want to be on the bad side of things. But let's get some hype going. We need to keep the season good. If we go to 7-2 or 6-2, that would be great. It would definitely make our playoff chances pretty close to sealed, I think. If we fall to 5-3, you know, we're still in a good spot, but we need to push through the end of this season. So if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like, comment. I need your guys' support right now. We got to push through the end of this long season, and subscribe, of course, if you are new, so you don't miss any more Draft League content. I love you guys very much. Peace.